This is Gary Butterfield.
This is Cole Rouse.
And this is Monster My Podcast.
And this is the Ixixachitl.
There's a monster in my podcast.
Ixixachitl.
Yes.
AKA Ixixachitl. Or even, can you fucking believe Ixixachitl?
Ixixachitl? Well, golly, look at me.
Yeah,
I reckon there's enough room back here on the turnip truck for you. I actually happen to be a very rich Southern gentleman who owns a turnip truck. That way this bit isn't classist.
Ixixachitl?
Yeah, so these are basically repeats of those crazy frisbee bats that we talked about, except they are underwater, which means only the most boring and dumb campaigns would have you encounter them.
Well, and it's just like, what if a stingray was evil?
Yeah, and what if there were thousands of them?
Yeah, there's just not enough interesting detail in this thing, just to have an evil stingray. This is another in like the series of pet entries, right? Like this. I mean, does it say anywhere? I can't remember if this is like they serve anything. Like
no, I mean they've got civilizations. They're pretty intelligent from what I can see, average to high. But they have a society. They're like vampiric Ixixachitl and greater vampiric Ixixachitl.
They seem they should just be pets of Saugans,
right?
Or something like
right.
that. But instead they make giant vampire versions of themselves, and like that's their king. Like, can you imagine like going to visiting a new country or a new species or something? And it's like, I'll meet with your king, and it's just like an 8-foot tall dude who's dressed like Dracula. And like that's their lord.
Well, yeah,
this is the
and
greater Dracula.
I would hope that he carries a lot of green card applications because I would pledge myself to be his vassal.
Yeah, greater vampire Cole is better than regular Cole.
I mean, to be fair, anything would be better than regular Cole.
Well, at least greater Cole is
right.
I mean, because there's like, so what's better, greater Cole or vampire Cole? If you can't have both.
Let's say vampire Cole. Even though I don't really go for the dark gifts kind of thing, greater Cole would just be a bigger Cole, and I'm satisfied with my height, so that's fine.
Yeah. Like just that I don't necessarily need to be any taller.
Right.
Even though like, it's both because we're both relatively tall guys. Mm-hmm. I'm glad that I am. Mm-hmm. I would not like to be very short.
No, it would make like the only benefit would be let's see here, flying would be slightly comfortable.
Well, and you could smuggle yourself into cargo holds and shit. Like flying could be slightly free.
Me and my friends could bond by hiding under trench coats to try to get into R-rated movies.
Yeah, and you get some of that dick on the back of your neck that you're always looking for. Being taller and mostly, and this is a selfish thing, and I don't have any hatred for my short brothers, but that's one of the only things that when I talk to girls that they've been like, I don't think I could be with a short guy.
It's very strange how that is like everybody has their preferences, and that is fine.
It's more common. I see it more often.
It's pretty. It seems pretty okay to just really shit on short people.
Yeah, it's weird. I think
even Randy Newman, the nicest man in show business, does it.
Yeah, short people ain't got no reason to live.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ,
good God.
Newman. I just think at some point we'll probably get a backlash against that. Like heightist will become a thing.
Yeah,
I think as society generally moves to like, hey, don't be a dick.
Yeah, and height is something that you don't really have a lot of control over.
Again,
we're falling into our usual thing.
Yeah.
I also am happy to be above 6 feet, but I see, if somebody's height comes out, they'll be called a manlet. Like pretty much everybody will do. Everybody's looking for. Everybody's got their guns out for people to disregard.
Let me tell you the one thing that I don't like about being tall.
Okay.
Is that it's really hard to find and be with a real tall lady. Like somebody taller than me, which is like somebody who my erotic proclivities include strength and and height and presence,
right?
In a woman, and that's hard. To find. Every once in a while, I go on a date with somebody who's like as tall as me, or nobody taller I haven't found, but like as tall as me, and it's like it's always awesome.
Yeah.
So I think that if I were a little bit shorter, like just average height instead of a little bit tall, maybe that'd be a little easier for me.
Yeah, I dated a girl who's taller than me by a fair margin, and
like 2 feet.
let's just say
My giant.
the question of who's Spoon 2 was very difficult to answer. All right.
Hello, Paul. Would you like to go to the movies?
She was a very nice woman.
I'm very kind, as all of my people are.
This just happens to be the nicest boyfriend that I can afford. Brought to you by our backers at patreon.com/duckfeed.tv.